Howard, it's good to have you. Just on that question about bail, lot of talk, as Kate mentioned, about how big it is, $250 million. She mentioned the parents put up equity in their home, which is only worth $4 million. So just to be clear, did Bankman-Fried pay that money? Does that mean that he lied when he told reporters, including our colleague Andrew Ross Orkin, that he was basically broke when he can afford a $250 million bail payment?
It's a little unclear. One of the things that's been reported is that other people have come forward, and it's a little I haven't seen the bail papers, so I'm a little unclear as to who exactly put that money forward. But generally speaking, you don't have to put up the full amount. You basically, various people will pledge that they'll be responsible for that amount if he doesn't show up at any hearing. But as the judge pointed out, he is so notorious at this point that it'd be very difficult for him to flee and to go anywhere where he wouldn't be recognized immediately.
And why was it so big in comparison to, say, Bernie Madoff or Elizabeth Holmes?
I think there's a recognition, and this is a dawning recognition, both in the judicial system, in the executive system, and with legislatures as well, that the scope of the crypto crisis is huge. And for a long time, various elected officials have been advising that government regulators leave it alone, that they let the market develop, that they let entrepreneurs develop whatever technologies and systems that the people would want in order to have this system develop. And I think there's a recognition now that that was perhaps the wrong thing to do. And if you leave off regulating something in which people are investing billions and billions of dollars, you're only asking for trouble later on down the line. So I think that the bail in this case reflects the increased seriousness and attention being paid by all parts of government to crypto issues, the lack of regulation, and the incredible harm that a crypto collapse can cause not only investors but customers of the exchanges as well.
How do you square the urgency around regulation that FTX appears to have brought to the surface with Gensler's comments in the Times, where he says securities law is quite robust and covers much of this activity? Is this sort of part of the process, and you don't need to lean on additional regulation to make the environment safer?
Well, that's a great question, and it points up to a fundamental issue, which is, are the systems and the laws that we have in place now sufficient to regulate the industry, or do we need additional regulations? And the SEC has been incredibly aggressive in asserting that it has the tools and that a lot of the coins that are being traded are in fact securities. And in fact, if you look at the SEC case against Ellison, they argue that the FTT, which was the proprietary coin that FTX used, was in fact a security. And this is part of a general trend that the SEC has taken in various cases in which they argue that different kinds of coins, different kinds of digital assets are in fact securities. They should be registered. They should be regulated as such. And if there's any kind of misconduct in the selling of these securities, that could be prosecuted as securities fraud.